Hey guys, welcome back to the Blissful Athlete. Thank you for tuning in. Today I wanted to do a video talking to you about 4 steps to cultural genocide and the similarities between what has happened in the past between the Nazis and the Jews and what is happening today in India between various different religions and different anti-Hindu forces and Hinduism. What I'm finding is that the strategies that were used in the past are actually being implemented today, and the similarities are extremely evident. And so if you want to learn more about what is happening today, if you want to learn the truth, then stay tuned. I'm looking forward to sharing with you. The first step to creating cultural genocide is first creating a separation between the two groups. Now, what happened in the Nazis regime was that they claimed that they were the Aryan race, they had the pure blood, but the Jews, they stated, were their own race. So right away there's this separation that these aren't even two human groups. This is a completely different race that they've separated themselves, and they're seeing them as this something that's much, much less than them. So the Germans, they had this form of superiority, and the Jews, they're this completely different race that was much less than them. Now, how has this happened in India? Well, when the British invaded, they saw the Indians and their dark colored skin, and they just made them feel disgusted about the color of their skin. The British, fair like I am today, they claimed that this form of skin, this color of skin, is unattractive. It's not even good looking, and it's something completely disgusting. Now, this cognition is still embedded in the Indian culture today, and it's evident in the Fair and Lovely cream market. If you didn't know, Indians apply Fair and Lovely cream to their skin to make themselves look fair and lovely, because this is what's seen as attractive. Now, the shocking truth to this is that this market is a $200 million American dollars, $200 US market, and it's growing incrementally at 18% each year, meaning that this cognition is so embedded that the Indian culture feels that they are not attractive. They are less than those that have the fair skin, than those that were British back in the day. The British also created a form of superiority through their different cultures, such as the music that they'd listen to, the very thought of materialism, their schooling system. They brought out the Macaulay system, and they kicked out the Gurukul system. They had a very different broad way of attacking Hinduism and Indians in various different points, very strategically, creating their culture, creating their way of life as a superior way of life than that of the Indian. And today this is evident that the Indian culture is being kicked aside and it's being pushed under the rug. You don't see the cultures that happened when they did hundreds and thousands of years ago today. It's being watered down, and you look at society, it's very much a British society. Step 2 to creating a cultural genocide is through humiliation and blame. Now, the Germans, the Nazis rather, did this against the Jews through various different ways. Strategically, they went outside of the Jewish neighborhoods and they put up signs that said to beware of cavemen. They also put up signs to say that you should beware because there's this hazardous area with health concerns. If you go in here, you might get sick. What they also did was they blamed the Jews for everything that happened in World War I. They said that the Jews were the problem. The Jews were the reason why we lost World War I. The Jews are the reason why the economy is in such a bad state. The Jews, the Jews, the Jews. They blame them for absolutely everything while also humiliating them at the same time. So now what is happening is that the two groups are growing even more further apart. And in that, the Germans and the Nazis were rising higher and higher. Now today, it's extremely evident that the British way of life is rising higher and higher, while the Indian way of life, the Hindu way of life, is gradually going lower and lower. How this separation is happening here in India is when the British came, they viewed the sadhus and the aghoris as disgusting beings. They looked at them as filth, beggars. They had no respect for them. They didn't understand or appreciate their lifestyle at all, and they had zero thought about who they were as individuals and as human beings. What they did was they put this idea on the rest of the Indian culture, made them understand that this is not a way of life, that this is not the way that humanity should be operating. Now today this is still happening, this British mindset coming in and claiming that this culture, this beautiful Hindu culture, is a terrible way of life. And they implement this through telling lies and spreading rumors. One foreign reporter came to India itself from CNN and did a documentary called Believer. What this video did was it tried to show that this culture, this gory lifestyle, is disgusting, and it's all about cannibalism, and it's all about living this caveman lifestyle. When in actuality, this lifestyle is something so much deeper and greater than this. Yet they'll title the video, The Agoris, the religion with dark rituals. Not only that, but Hindus today are ridiculed for a lot of different things. One being in 2014 for using milk for sacred rituals such as Abhishekam. The Madras High Court admonished milk being used while, quote, millions go hungry. On top of that, the ridicule goes to the extent of our own gurus, our own gods and goddesses, with various different happenings. Not only that, but they're creating ridicules against our gurus through false accusations, really trying to develop some sort of controversy, which is gonna help separate even more, make us seem like our culture isn't the right culture. The Hindu lifestyle is a lesser form than that of their lifestyle. Step 3 to create a cultural genocide is accomplished through policies that are unfair. In 1935, this happened against the Jewish people when the Nazis passed the Nuremberg laws. These laws unfairly targeted Jewish synagogues, Jewish stores. It even made it illegal for somebody that's non-Jewish to marry a Jew or even to talk with them. Today, this same format is happening here in India through anti-Hindu policy. The Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Act actually steals control from the temples, seizes the funds, redistributes the funds to various different government bodies and other religious temples. For example, in the year 2002, the Karnataka state government received 72 crore from 251,000 temples. But only 10 crore was returned back to the temples, while the rest of the funds were used for other purposes, including funding 50 crore for Muslim Hajj subsidies and 10 crore for churches. Not only this, but thousands of Hindu temples had to be shut down for, quote, lack of funding. And there's multiple different anti-Hindu policies that are still in place today. For instance, the Supreme Court banning Diwali because it causes pollution, yet Christians and Muslims are allowed to celebrate their own religions, even when it comes to killing sheep in the public. Step 4 to create a cultural genocide is through actual persecution and violence. Now, with the Jews and the Nazis, what happened was the Nazis, they released special SS and SA groups, which went out and systematically murdered 6 million Jews. Here in India, the murders didn't happen through guns, but it was very much a systematic happening as well. In 1757, after the Battle of Plassey, the Bengal was the first region of the Indian subcontinent conquered by the British East Indian Company. It had sole trading rights in the area in modern Bangladesh. What happened was it led to the 1770 Great Bengal Famine, which killed not 6 million Jews, but 10 million Hindus. They'll claim that this happened through poor funding and lack of infrastructure, but in actuality, this was very much a strategic attack against Hindus and the Hindu culture. The slaughter of Hindus is still happening even in the modern day. In 1971, the Bangladesh genocide led to 3 million Hindu deaths, as well as 400,000 rapes. Yet there was a complete media blackout for this genocide. And that's one of the strategies in how this all happens, is through the control of the media coverage. Joseph Goebbels was Hitler's minister of propaganda, and he once said, think of the press as a great keyboard on which the government can play. So a key player in the unfoldment of cultural genocide is control of mass media. Look at the mainstream media. Who is speaking to you? So many of your TV broadcast networks are actually owned by the same group, whether it's Sun TV or Star TV. Who actually is owning that group? Well, it's actually Fox News. And who owns Fox News? It's Fox 21 Century. And who owns Fox 21 Century? Well, it's News Corp. And who owns News Corp? It's Robert Murdoch. You look all the way at the top, who is owning the media that you are listening to? And what is their vested interest? Are they actually concerned with your spiritual growth? Are they actually concerned with Hinduism, even though they own a Hindu broadcast network? Be weary of those that you listen to, because there is a planned attack against Hinduism that is unfolding right now. This is not some conspiracy theory. This is a real happening. The very fact that somebody wants to apply Fair and Lovely cream onto their skin is the evidence of this. Today, Hinduism is still under attack because it is the one true lifestyle. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is real. It teaches us that we are Sadashiva, that we are the God in human form. And when we realize this, we break free of the matrix. We break free of this cognition that I am just this human body, that my life is for watching TV and wearing nice clothes and just doing random things. You are so much more than what you believe you are. If you have the awakening, if you have the initiation from an enlightened master, if you have the ability to break free and see that reality is something more, you are already setting yourself free from the trap that they already have you in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you got something from it. If you'd like to learn more about Sanatana Hindu Dharma, how to break free of this matrix, or how to avoid cultural genocide, and even if you have some comments, please leave those down below. I'd love to create a dialogue with all of you. If you enjoyed the video, please click like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Take care, and as always, be blissful.